Well, today we're on the last leg of our spring wheat seeding, and what you're looking at here is a failed field of safflower, and I sprayed this out I think 3 days ago. Yeah, it was Sunday afternoon. And where I'm sitting right now, you're probably thinking, man, there's quite a bit of stuff there, but it's not near as good as it looks, and a lot of the green is some grass coming through. I debated over the decision for a long time, wondered if I should leave it, let it go, see what happens. And I came to the conclusion that there might be 25% of a stand here. And that gave an opportunity for a pile of weeds to come in. And I felt like we were just gonna not really have a crop, and it was just gonna wreck the ground for next year. And so we made the decision to spray it out. So we did that. And it's still kind of green, but you can see better over here. I mean, it's laid down flat. I mean, on the ground. It's just going to take a few days for it to dry up. So we're going to hoe this spring wheat in. We just filled up. Just came across the road to the gate here. We're going to get the drill winged lung. Going to get the drill unfolded and just do a quick crank test, make sure we don't have any plugged runs, and then we're going to be off and rolling. We got 90 acres here to do today. It's going to be a full fill and then a little bit more on the seed and starter fertilizer. So we should be done in good time, and I probably shouldn't say that because I don't know if we've had a day yet this year where things have went fully according to plan, but we're going to be optimistic, and we're going to say that we're gonna get done here today. So we're working on today. Get our fan rolling here. There, she's winding up. Give her a little RPM to get her whipping a little bit. We'll hop out, do a crank test, and check for hoses, and we'll get rolling here. We'll just give the drill, I usually do 8 or 10 turns. Just manually. Then we come out here and see what's happening. I already see, I don't like what I see. See a couple plugged. You can see that one there is full of seed, or got seed in it. That one there is plumb full. So we must have some stuff down here at the bottom, maybe in the tower. We'll dig underneath here and see what we can find. Oh, I see another one here that's bare. We got some pluggage. All kinds of carnage this morning. Doggone it. I'm gonna be full of streaks where I was seeding yesterday. But I guess if it looked good, it wouldn't be normal, would it? Alright, we'll work on this in a minute. Well, we got some runs undone. I think I had 3 of them plugged. We'll fire this girl up and see what she brings me today. Not a whole lot with the push button today. That doesn't make me happy. Well, it's going to be a day, it looks like. It's starting out to be a bit of a day. What do we got up here? Got some wiring going on. Sometimes that gets a little loose up there. It's not even clicking though. It's... Oh! There it is! Temperamental old pig, that's for sure. check the seed fertilizers to go along here. I see one more. Oh, yeah, I see what's happening here. We got some kinkage. Can I say that? Kinkage? Closer. Okay. Got everybody unplugged, everybody's running. One final repair right here. If anybody's ran an air seeder for any amount of time and says that they've never put this on a hose to get them through a day, I think they're lying. We'll wrap her up and roll. Well, we got everybody happy back there. Everybody's seeding and we're rolling here. And you can see it's moving some dirt, but this ground is pretty soft because this was some hay ground grassland that we had disced up this spring and had it pretty nice, and then we seeded it once and now we're seeded again. So hey, the positive thing is it's going to be super smooth when we're done, so that's kind of nice. And I guess we're building some organic matter, right? Not everything's bad. Got a little draw up here with some hardwoods and a little dam behind there. Kind of a nice little chunk when we do put some cattle over here. Kind of makes for a little crooked headlands around this field, but they're not bad. Nothing we can't handle, and we manage quite a bit worse actually in places. So the few fields that I have, they're nice and square and long and straight. They're really nice, and they really spoil a guy, but I've learned how to farm in some pretty crooked stuff over the years and make it work. So we're seeding away, and I don't know, I guess maybe I'm foolishly optimistic thinking this is going to work. It's really late. June seeded spring wheat is never ideal, and every day you get later in June the worse off it is, and now we're way late and we're reseeding, but I don't know. We're pouring the fertilizer to it. Fertilizer safflower pretty heavy, and I've just left my drill setting as is for this pass, so I think total we should be up around 370 pounds of fertilizer on this field. Now that will include both nitrogen and starter, but that's about where our product is going to be. So that's a good amount. So hey, we're gonna put her in there. We're gonna send up a prayer, and if we get some late rain, we're gonna have some crazy good spring wheat. Everybody will be like, oh man, that was the thing to do, right? I'll have one of those stories like some of the old timers that will tell you that, oh, I planted spring wheat on the summer solstice and that was the best wheat I've ever had in my life. And that'd be cool if we had a story like that to tell. Realistic? Yeah, maybe not. But nonetheless, it will be cool. And that's why we do this, right? Because we do things that are cool. We don't, it's not because it's sensible and it's a low risk situation. No, let's just try something and be different. And yeah, anyway, we're gonna get this hammered out. Hopefully tomorrow. We've got our good safflower is getting real big, and we need to get our grass herbicide on there to get the grasses killed. It's pretty clean, but I want to go over it anyway. We have up until the flowers to do that, which sounds like a lot, but that time's around the corner. We need to hit it. And then I got some of our earlier seeded on time spring wheat. It's really ready for in-crop chemical, and we got to get the grasshoppers thinned out too. They're starting to take the edges along some of the hay fields. So that's might be priorities for tomorrow. Our millet seeding might have to sit a day. We've got a total of about 250, 60, 70 acres or so of millet, oat, sorghum blend we're going to put down for some forage, and hopefully it grows good. It is something that we can graze also if it does not make enough tonnage for forage. But it's a pretty good late season mix for a cover crop. Keeps the ground rolling and gives us an opportunity to have some production off it. So we like doing some of that. I don't do it every year, but generally I do a little bit of that, and some years more than others. And this year, just timing wise and the way some of our fields sat, we had some stuff that we were going to seed the grass, and that didn't happen this spring, so we're going to do it this fall. And we want to have something in there this summer to keep the soil active. So we're going to go with that cover crop, and I guess best case scenario, we're going to make some hay. Worst case scenario, we'll turn some cows in there later this late summer, early fall, and make them happy. So that's what we're up to today. We're just going to seed away. We're going to sit here and go back and forth for a while. I'm thinking you don't want to watch that all day long, and probably don't want to listen to me talk about it all day long. Then I gotta really need to move that cord right there for my GPS receiver. I need to get that off to the side because it's right in the way. You can see our crank down there spinning, so we're seeding. And I don't know if you can see back there. It's a little bit wobbly. You can see the nitrogen shooting out. You can kind of see it, I think, out of that one where our deflectors broke. So everything's going down, product's going down, acres are clicking off. Looks like progress. So we'll talk to you guys later. We'll keep you up to date on progress here. Have a good one. Well, we've made a few passes, and it looks to me like my fertilizer is not coming out as heavy as it should. I'm going to shut this down. We're going to check out the meters here. Sometimes these meters are very finicky, and I did once yesterday. I caught this front tank was not wanting to flow properly, so I'm going to pop this cover off and see if it's got something stuck underneath there. We'll see what it looks like. Well, as you can see there, fertilizer's running good out of both meters. I think we're all right. Sometimes just the way the lighting is too, it just looks a little bit different coming out of those. Each one of those runs, it just doesn't look quite right. But I'm pretty confident we're doing good. So we're going to fire back up, keep rolling here. Since I'm out here, I'll just show you what I'm looking at here. This is our safflower plant here. But you can see we've got plenty. There's other weeds here too. We've got other broadleaves coming. There's some bindweed there. And that stuff cannot kill that in the safflower. So had we left this, we were gonna have some weed presence, but just the way it's gonna be. Pretty impressive root on this stuff for how young it is. It's been seeded for about 5 weeks, probably, roughly. I have to look my exact days, but they say that safflower is a scavenger and likes to go deep, and I can really see that taproot just taking off. And even there, that isn't the bottom of it. I broke it off. There, I was trying to dig down to see if we can figure out how deep this has gone already. Some special tooling out here. There it is. Pretty close. I might have popped the bottom off there, but it's down about 4 inches already. So yeah, she gets after it, goes after some moisture and goes after that deep nitrogen. So that's some of the benefits of it. It'll do good to get a good stand, but like you can see right here where I'm standing, there's just not much there. You know, little plants here and there. Some of them you're seeing are even weeds. Now when you look out over it like that, yeah, it looks pretty green, doesn't look too bad. But when you get out in it closer, you really see they're just these big bare spots over and over again. And then even the spots where it's better, it's still thin. So yeah, definitely the chemical residue was working very strong early on, and it just completely killed some of it. And then some of these plants are kind of middle of the road. I think the chemical's still working on them. So I'm not sure if they even would have matured properly had we left them. Those are just some things that I put into my decision, I guess, to kill this and to spray it out. So she's done now, we're seeding. And that's how it's gonna be. We'll kind of keep you updated how this project turns out. We'll go from there. We're gonna hop back in and get back to rolling.